What would you do if one night in Las Vegas, the city where dreams and delusions blur, one of reality TV's most recognizable faces was arrested, thrust into a scandal that peeled back the curtain on a life built on fame, burdened by loss, and strained under the weight of a family legacy? That's exactly what happened in the early hours of a Friday morning when Corey Harrison, the charismatic heir to the Pawn Stars empire, was pulled over by Las Vegas police for swerving in his truck. The accusation? Driving under the influence. But this wasn't just another celebrity headline. It was a public glimpse into the personal battles of a man who grew up in the spotlight, under pressure to maintain both a business and a dynasty. Born in April of 1983, in the very heart of Vegas, Corey was raised inside the walls of the gold and silver pawn shop. Founded by his grandfather, Richard the Old Man Harrison, and his father, Rick, the shop began as a humble exchange for coins and odd collectibles. By the time Corey was 9, he was already working the counter, learning to haggle, to spot counterfeits, and to survive in a business where every deal could make or break your name. In 2009, everything changed. Pawn Stars premiered on the History Channel, and overnight, Corey, Rick, the Old Man, and Corey's childhood friend Chum Lee became household names. The shop transformed into a Las Vegas landmark. Tourists lined up for photos, rare artifacts, and jaw-dropping finds rolled through the doors. On screen, Corey appeared calm, confident, even carefree. But off-camera, his story was far more complicated. As the show exploded in popularity, Corey pushed for a bigger role. By season 6, he demanded 10% of the shop's profits. Rick countered with 5%. It was a bold move, not just for money but for recognition. Corey wasn't content being just another face on TV. He wanted to shape the future of the pawn empire, and in some ways he already had. He was the one who had brought Austin Chumlee Russell into the shop, turning a goofy intern into a breakout star. Chumlee's love of comic books, sneakers, and vintage video games gave Pawn Stars a pop culture edge that made it more than just a show about antiques. It made it a phenomenon. Together they expanded their brand, appearing on iCarly, launching a trivia board game called Pawnography, and building a reputation as experts in everything from Civil War memorabilia to million-dollar watches. The shop became a theater of the unexpected. One day, a man walked in with a trunk full of silver. Another, a gambler pawned his Ferrari after losing big at the casinos. But even as the shop thrived, Corey's personal life spiraled. At his peak, he weighed 400 pounds and was warned that if he didn't make changes, he was headed straight for diabetes. That warning was a turning point. He underwent gastric band surgery, dropped nearly 200 pounds, and embraced a healthier lifestyle, boxing, snowboarding, and speaking publicly about the importance of taking care of your body. But fate wasn't done testing him. A motorcycle crash shattered his hand, requiring plates and screws. In 2018, the Harrison family lost its patriarch, Richard the Old Man. Harrison passed away from Parkinson's at age 77. Corey was devastated. He had worked beside his grandfather for most of his life. The loss was deeply personal and deeply public. That same year, Corey divorced his second wife, Karina Kiki Harrison. Their schedules didn't align. Yet just weeks later, they welcomed a baby boy, Richard Benjamin Harrison Jr., named after the man who had taught Corey everything. His first marriage to high school sweetheart Charlene ended in 2015 after 6 years. After the split, Charlene vanished from the spotlight and Corey kept moving forward. But in 2023, the DUI arrest cast a long shadow. Corey claimed he'd only had one drink hours earlier, but he failed the field sobriety tests. He was taken into custody, and for a moment, the headlines weren't about rare coins or historic weapons. They were about the fall of a reality star. Then, in 2024, tragedy struck again. Corey's younger brother, Adam Harrison, died at just 39 years old. The cause, a lethal combination of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Corey mourned quietly. He shared his grief online but chose to process the loss in private, revealing a quieter strength that fans rarely get to see. Even with the chaos, Corey has remained the steady hand behind the counter at Gold and Silver, running the shop with Rick and Chumlee. Though behind the smiles, tensions have simmered. Chumlee, once hired by Corey at just 21, became a fan favorite. But his flashy lifestyle and impulsive decisions often clashed with Rick's strict business mindset. At one point, Chumlee tried to close a deal on a rare coin, only for Rick to shut it down. Chumlee called Rick cheap. Rick shot back, saying Chumlee wasn't ready to lead. The friction was real. Then came the $200,000 mistake. Chumlee pawned counterfeit items. The shop took the loss. Trust was shaken. Corey found himself caught between loyalty to his father and friendship with the man he'd brought into the business. And things didn't get easier. In 2016, Chumlee's home was raided. Police found drugs and unregistered firearms. His reputation took a hit. Though charges were reduced, the damage was done. The bond between Rick and Chumlee never fully recovered. Meanwhile, Corey faced his own battles. Rumors swirled about his health, his relationships, his role in the shop. But through it all, his instincts never failed. He once lost thousands on 5 fake Rolexes, and it hardened him. He learned, adapted, and became one of the shop's sharpest deal makers. Over the years, Pawn Stars has seen it all. Vintage cars, medieval swords, Olympic medals, human skulls, live animals. Some deals were outrageous, others unforgettable. But what kept fans coming back wasn't just the stuff, it was the people. Rick, the ever-strategic patriarch. The old man, full of dry wit and wisdom. Corey, the heir navigating storms. And Chumlee, the wild card who made you laugh even when things got serious. In 2023, after 21 seasons, they took the show on the road with Pawn Stars Do America, traveling the country to chase history. A year later, season 22 went into production. The brand expanded. Rick opened Rick's Rolling Smoke BBQ. Chumlee opened a candy shop. Corey began exploring new ventures, but the story always circles back to the shop, too. Corey, still showing up, still closing deals, still carrying the Harrison name. The family legacy rests on his shoulders now. And though Rick remains a guiding force, the day is coming when Corey will take full control. He's been tested by addiction, accidents, divorce, and death. But he endures. Not because he's perfect, but because he's real. Just like the items he appraises, his true value lies beneath the surface, in the details, in the resilience, in the story. As the neon glow of Las Vegas flickers on, the Gold and Silver pawn shop stands tall. A monument to family, hustle, and survival. And Corey Harrison, for all his flaws and triumphs, remains its heart. Because this isn't just a show about pawns. It's about what we risk, what we lose, and what we fight to keep. When the whole world is watching,